Hello guys, welcome to another video from Quoted AI, and in this video you would see that how we can migrate data from BigQuery from the database to our local hard disk so that we do not have to pay Google for each BigQuery request, and we can do it on our MySQL workbench. In case you have not used Google BigQuery yet, it is a big data tool and it is used by many big companies to harness the power of cloud computation by storing their datasets here and querying time to time to get the analytics. So before seeing how to do that, we have to understand why it's important. So the people who already are accustomed to this cloud platform or Google Cloud in particular, you guys already know that for every service we request, we have to pay Google for that. It might be storage, it might be virtual machine, it might be PubSub or any product. So if you go to the navigation menu, you will see all this product list. So for everything there is some associated billing. So for that reason, if we have any data stored in our BigQuery, so BigQuery is basically kind of database storage, which is similar to SQL. Okay, and there we can also store the database and tables and query from that. So in case we want to get the data from BigQuery to our local hard disk and query it in our local MySQL workbench or some other platform, then we need to know how to get this data out of BigQuery. Otherwise, we always have to pay Google for all the queries which we do with the Google BigQuery query editor. Okay, so this is the context. Now we have to understand like how we would gonna achieve that. So guys, if you are not aware of these things like SQL or BigQuery, then I would request you to have a look at the official documentation. And who are aware of the SQL already, then for them it's just as same as the SQL. So if we want to query any data sets, we have to run the select star command where we can see all these records. Okay, now if you have your own data, you would do that with your own data. In case you do not have your own data in your BigQuery, then I would use the BigQuery public data, okay, to query. So for example, we have a database called Austin Bike Share, and inside that there are two tables, as you can see, like bike share stations and bike share trips. So we are probably interested into the data, which is a lot. So we do a pretty quick count stars to know that how many records are contained by each of these two tables. So to do that, we have to just click the table and click on the query table. So as you can see that there is the select clause automatically generated to the query. So I would say select count star. So count star basically computes all the count of records from this particular data set. And I remove the limit statement because I want to get the total count of all the records. And here I put this semicolon to mark the end of this query. So here alright, so it shows it gets some error in the syntax. Alright, so we have to run this query. As you can see that it is taking 3 seconds to process that, and the number of record count is 96, which is basically nothing. So in this case I would just try to check the other table, which is bike share underscore trips. Let's see how many records we have. Alright, so we have around 1.2 million records, which is really fine. So now we know what data we want. So we would be storing this bike share trips information or all the data from this particular table into our local hard disk so that we don't have any dependency on Google BigQuery. So to do so, first we have to store into our Google Cloud Storage. So I would click on that table and click on export, export to Google Cloud Storage. Here, as you can see, we have to provide bucket, folder, and file name. So what is bucket? And before that, we have to understand what is GCS or Google Cloud Storage. So Google Cloud Storage is same as your hard disk, but on the cloud. So it is stored in the Google Cloud platform as kind of a hard disk, folder, and file structure. So we also have to do the same thing. So I would create a bucket in GCS. So how to do that? Let's see. So you go to the navigation menu. So the guys who are pretty much new to Google Cloud Platform, I have to tell, like always we have to select a project before we start doing anything. So first of all, we have to select or create a project if we would not have done it already. And after selecting the project, we would be able to activate all these APIs, which are basically we would be using for this particular project. So the billing happens project specific. So in that scenario, if I do not need any services, I can disable the API. Okay. All right, so let's go to the cloud storage. So I click on the cloud storage and I can see that there should not be any information. All right, so I have this folder Austin Byte. So it was previously created. I just delete it. So always I have to ensure that I'm deleting the byte with my conscious mind, not unconsciously. So Google has this kind of verification, and also nowadays every platform has this kind of verification to make sure that you know what you are deleting. All right, so name your bucket. So I can give a bucket name or a folder name. So this bucket is kind of like would contain a number of folders. So if I click on continue, it says that bucket name is taken, try another. So I'll just use another one. So byte data code data AI. All right, so if I do that, so it says that this is all right to choose the name of the bucket, and we would try to locate on multi-region. So in case you are not aware of the fact that multi-region gives you more flexibility about the fact that there it would be available. So in case there is some system failure in particular region, you are not affected if it is multi-region. So they basically replicate your data in multiple geographic regions. I click on continue. I keep all these default parameters. Okay, and I just click on create. So it doesn't take much time in general. So our bucket is ready. So we just get this bucket name byte data coded AI, and it is created just now. So I go to the BigQuery and SQL workspace again. I just reload it, and we would be able to see now that the Google Cloud Storage should be available. So as you remember, I have to click on the table, which basically I want to export to our Google Cloud Storage. So I click on that. Here I click on browse. As you can see, it shows you the bucket name right now, and I just select it, and I can put a file name. So trip data. I just put this file name as trip data, and here I can choose the format. So by default it would be CSV, and compression, if it is too much data, I can also choose to compress, but for example now I do not need that, or at least I am not sure how much space it would take by 1.2 million records. So I click on export now, and as you can see that there is one job going on. So there is one dedicated job for this particular query, and it took like, it is still working, I think 15 seconds approximately. So it started at 4:20:22 and finished at 4:20:37, so it exactly took 15 seconds. So ideally our data should be here. Alright, so we have the trip data and its size is around 130 MB, which is not much. And yeah, so I just click on this download function and let's see what happens. Boom, so the download already started and we would wait it to finish. Alright, so it's almost done and we can open the data just to check whether it keeps what we wanted. So trip data is the name of the file, and if we do that, okay, cool. So we have this trip data which is having trip ID, subscriber type. We can also verify from this Google BigQuery about this column name. So is this one. Yeah, here you can see trip ID, subscriber type, till duration in minutes. So ideally we should have all this information till duration of minutes. Alright, and also if you want to verify the number of rows, then you can see that it is around 1.2 million records. So I just use Notepad++ to open. So in case guys you are not aware of Notepad++, it's a very handy tool where you can really look the data in a nice format, which we can load in our MySQL workbench or our local SQL database and try querying. Alright, so have a nice time with SQL query, and yeah, then see you in the next video. Bye.